Hello, Cloud Dwellers. As part of our ongoing Marketing Cloud CERT review, we're back today to explore a question that has to do with data automation. Let's check it out. Now, this question explores areas of marketing automation, and more specifically, it looks at the tool Automation Studio, asking the question, which activity would most likely be automated using Automation Studio? And as is typical, we have 4 possible answers, 3 which are incorrect and 1 which is the correct answer. And it's very important to understand why an answer is incorrect as well as why an answer is correct to help you get through the certification process. Let's start by talking a little bit about what Automation Studio is and what it can do for us. And Automation Studio is basically a tool that allows marketers to create, I will say, a to-do list. It's really, it focuses on what we call ETL jobs, which stands for extract, transform, and load. And so this includes things such as importing data into Marketing Cloud, or sorting that data to create audience segments, or moving data from one point to another point, or even sending emails out on a scheduled basis. But it's really a background to-do machine that's about manipulating and working with data. Right now, that understood, what can we do with our possible answers here? Well, answer A is saying create dynamic content rules. Now, if you don't know what a dynamic content rule is, this is going to be a bit of a mystery. So let's solve that mystery initially and get that out of the way. A dynamic content block, which is something we create in Content Builder, is a block that allows us to show different things to different people based upon who they are. So for example, in this setup, I might say, well, if you are somebody who I'm showing this email to, and I want to be able to say, show this picture of a dad out jogging with his baby in a stroller. All right, that is what I want to be able to show. However, I might have different criteria for different members of my audience. For example, I might say, hey, unless you happen to live in California, if you live in California, I want to show you a different picture. For example, this one right here. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means that we have to create a rule that says, if this is true, then show this, but if this other thing is true, then show this. And that's where this dynamic content rule comes into play. What it allows us to do is allows us to come in here and allows us to establish some sort of criterion. In this case, we're saying, if your state or province is equal to, in this case, California, then I want to show this picture instead. So this is a dynamic content rule, and as you can see, it's all done in Content Builder, has nothing to do with Automation Studio. So in this case, that answer is incorrect. Let's look at B. Now B is saying importing a daily subscriber list from an FTP location. Now I'll let you know, that is actually the correct answer. Let's take a look at C. Now, C offers up building AMP script personalization. If you have no idea what AMP script or AMP script personalization is, again, this can be a bit of a mystery. And in this case, AMP script personalization is a tool that allows us to personalize emails, once again, within Content Builder. As we're building them, we can say, I would like information be drawn from this source and put in here. So I can say, dear, whatever your first name is. So that would be something that would happen again in Content Builder and certainly not Automation Studio. So that's not correct. And then finally, D says designing the company newsletter layout. Well, I'd rather ask my vacuum cleaner to help me make dinner because it's just about as useless. In this case, once again, Automation Studio is about being able to work with data, to sort data, to move data from point to point. It has nothing to do with design. It has nothing to do with concepts of creation. This would once again most likely be something we would find in Content Builder. So an incorrect answer. And that brings us back to B, importing a daily subscriber list from an FTP location. And getting back to what we were talking about, our to-do machine before, this is exactly what it's about. It's about data importing. I can say, hey, I want to create a task that goes out to this FTP server, grabs this file, brings it into Marketing Cloud, puts it into the state extension, and then, hey, sort it out. Find me everybody who has a birthday today so I can send them a happy birthday message. So that's our right answer in this round. To explore other questions and answers surrounding Marketing Cloud certification and mastery, please subscribe to this channel and we'll drop a new question for you to check out every week. Also, if you have a team that needs to get up to speed on all things Marketing Cloud, check us out at blueclouduniversity.com. Thanks for dropping by. I'll see you again next time.